Okay, today what we're going to do is talk about cookware and all the different materials that are used in cookware and why different materials are used and when. What I have here is the basic types of materials that are used. We have stainless steel, we have a non-stick, we have a cast iron, and then we have enameled cast iron. There are others out there like aluminum and other formulations, but these are by and large the most common types of cookware that you find out there. So let's go through and figure out what you would use for what purpose. Starting off with the stainless steel. Now this is by far the most common type of cookware out there. There's a huge difference between good quality stainless steel and poor quality stainless steel. What I have in my hand here is all-clad. All-clad essentially is the industry standard for bonded stainless steel. And what I mean by that is you have 3 layers in this case. This is their 3-ply line. It's stainless steel on the inside, stainless steel on the outside, which will stay clean on the inside and outside, but running through the entire middle of this pan is aluminum. And what that aluminum does is allow the heat to conduct very rapidly. I'm going to get into more of that in a second. What this is essentially almost the same thing, except now we've introduced a non-stick coating, and I'm going to get into why you would use that and when as well. Here is a simple cast iron pan. It's pure cast iron, no coating whatsoever. And what we have here is an enameled cast iron pot. Okay, so it takes essentially this and you enamel it at a very high temperature. So the first type of material we're going to look at is stainless steel. So stainless steel is by far the most common type of material used in cookware. And there's a big difference between lower end and higher end stainless steel cookware. This one pan made by all-clad is well over $100. Some people would wonder why you would pay that much for one pan when you can go to a lower end department store and buy an entire set for that same price. There's a big difference. First of all, the quality of the stainless steel. More so than anything, what is used in lower end is just stainless steel. And stainless steel, which is a high chromium content, is a lot cheaper to make when it's just the one type of layer, and is a very poor conductor of heat. So if you've ever experienced sections of your pan that are hot spots as they call them, where food is sticking, that's a reason why stainless steel is a poor conductor. It doesn't conduct the heat evenly, and therefore you're going to get variations in temperature. You're also going to get warping, and over time it's not going to last quite long. In higher end stainless steel cookware, like this all-clad, what you have is stainless steel on the inside, stainless steel on the outside, and there's a third layer that's bonded in the middle. In this case, it's aluminum. So there's two types of materials, materials that are used generally in this bonded process, either aluminum or copper. Both are extremely good conductors of heat. So what happens is, if you heat one side of the pan, the entire pan will get hot because that aluminum is going to conduct the heat everywhere. Okay? Now, why do you want that? Why do you want that quick conductivity? Well, you use stainless steel cookware when you need responsiveness. So if you're sauteing something, let's say you're sauteing garlic, and you want to, the minute it starts to brown and it's fragrant, you want to lower the heat. Okay? You want the pan to be very responsive. So you're going to have high heat. Once you get that temperature that you need, or once you get that garlic or the onions or whatever you're using to where you need it, you're going to lower the heat, and you want the pan to go down quickly in temperature. And that's what a good quality stainless steel pan will do. Why would you use cast iron? First of all, everybody should have a cast iron pan in their collection. It is by far the best naturally non-stick pan to have. It is indestructible and sears meat and fish better than anything else. And why is that? Unlike the stainless steel pan, cast iron, unlike aluminum, which conducts heat quite quickly, cast iron takes in heat and retains that heat. So once you've heated this pan quite hot on the stove, if you turn down the temperature, this stays very hot. That is perfect for when you get a steak or when you get a piece of fish and you want to put it down on the pan and you want to sear it brown. I'm not saying that you can't sear on a stainless steel pan, but what ends up happening is if you put a cold steak or one that's at room temperature on a hot stainless steel pan that has an aluminum core or copper core, the entire pan will essentially decrease in temperature temporarily until the flames below it, or whatever heating source you have, heats it back up. That's not as ideal as a cast iron skillet. Once you put that piece of meat down, it retains that heat and will have that perfect sear. It is an unbelievable material to use for any type of protein, cooking any type of protein, so meat and fish, any kind of steak, whatever you have. One of the best things about this is it's extremely cheap, and there's many shapes and sizes of cast iron pans that you can use. Nonstick, in my opinion, I think you need nonstick for one purpose and one purpose only, and that's to cook eggs. That's the only time really you need a nonstick surface. Now, I'm not going to get into it, but there's huge problems with the Teflon brand and all the Teflon related nonstick surfaces out there. You can Google it and find out there's essentially an issue with PFOA and PTFE. PFOA is a material that's used, it's an acid that's used in the manufacturing of the Teflon, and PTFE is actually in the pan, and they've linked it to various sicknesses, from cancer to other sicknesses. You can find the research yourself. What this is actually one that's made by Green Pan, and it's a ceramic non-stick surface. We have one of my favorites, and this is an enameled cast iron pan, cast iron pot. So what you take here is you take the heat retention from this cast iron pan and now you enamel it. So enameling is basically the process of baking it at extremely high temperatures. Obviously you get beautiful colors, which is great because you can match whatever colors you have in your kitchen. But when you're doing long, slow cooks, like when you're braising meat, for example, or even making a soup, and you want a very steady temperature throughout, this is perfect. It will get to the temperature that you need and it will stay there. And you can put this in your oven, you can keep it on the stove top. Regardless, the heat's going to surround whatever you're cooking, and it's going to stay at a very even temperature throughout. This in particular is Le Creuset, which is our preferred brand. They've been making these since the 1800s. Everything's fired by hand. Unbelievable quality here. So there you have it. 4 different materials that are used for most cookware. And we'll go into, in a different video, we'll go into the different shapes that